The newly elected Labour Council leaders vow to address the issue of rising living expenses within the first 100 days of their administration. Sir Keir Starmer is expected to inform his shadow cabinet that the most challenging part of their journey still lies ahead, despite significant success in the recent local elections. The recently elected council leaders of the Labour Party have made a firm commitment to implement urgent measures to alleviate the cost of living crisis in their respective regions. They have promised to initiate these emergency plans within the first 100 days of their tenure in office. After the recent local elections, the party has gained 22 new council leaders. These victories include traditionally conservative strongholds such as Medway, Swindon and East Staffordshire, where the Labour Party emerged victorious. The newly appointed council leaders will have a meeting with Sir Keir Starmer and other high-ranking officials from the shadow cabinet on Tuesday. The main objective of this meeting will be to assess their recent accomplishments and outline their plans for the future governance. In the recent election held on Thursday, 6 councils that were previously under Conservative control were transferred to the Labour Party. Moreover, the Labour Party was able to secure control over councils that were previously without an overall majority, such as Plymouth and Stoke-on-Trent. The collective number of seats garnered by the party tallies to 528. This marks the first instance since 2002 where the party holds the most substantial representation in local government. Contrarily, the Conservatives faced a challenging night, suffering the loss of over 1,000 seats and governing power over 48 councils. This outcome aligned with the bleakest predictions preceding the election. If Labour were in power, they would prioritise addressing the increasing cost of living, which is at the centre of their local election campaign. To accomplish this, they would implement a more significant windfall tax on large oil and gas companies and freeze council tax for the current year. Before the meeting, Sir Keir spoke about the election results, stating that they demonstrate a desire for change that is present throughout the entire country. He expressed that our unwavering attention towards the primary concern that disturbs individuals' peace of mind was due to our comprehension of the situation. We recognize that the current state of affairs is challenging, with rising costs and economic uncertainty. Individuals are adapting to these new circumstances by altering their spending habits and lifestyles, while also experiencing feelings of discouragement towards the future. People have placed their trust in Labour since we presented a positive alternative. It is now our obligation to act promptly and fulfil our commitment to alleviating the financial burden on citizens. We cannot afford to lose a single day. To aid them in gaining experience, every new Labour council will be paired with a pre-existing Labour-controlled local authority. This will allow them to learn the ins and outs of governing effectively. After Sir Keir promised not to abandon the ambitions of Generation Rent, one of the initial tasks of the new council leaders will be to scrutinise the local housing and development blueprints. This review aims to ensure that they align with the current needs of the local populace. Former Levelling Up Secretary Simon Clarke criticised Rishi Sunak's choice to abandon house-building objectives, which has been held responsible for the Conservatives' lacklustre performance. Clarke referred to the decision as a significant error. Sir Keir will be conducting his weekly shadow cabinet in addition to the hybrid meeting scheduled for Tuesday. During this meeting, he will emphasise that although progress has been made, there is still substantial work to be done, and that the most challenging aspect lies ahead. According to him, the victory of the Labour Party in all regions of the country is an indication of the significant progress they have achieved. Individuals who disassociated themselves from us during the time Jeremy Corbyn was leader of the Labour Party and the tumultuous period of Britain's withdrawal from the European Union are presently returning to our fold. Given the current state of politics, it is not surprising that there is a great deal of scepticism among the public. However, it is now time to move beyond merely reassuring the public and instead offer a hopeful vision for the future. Our goal is to demonstrate that we will be a transformative government that will work towards improving the lives of working people. The forthcoming weeks will see the party initiate 3 fresh undertakings. These undertakings will concentrate on health, opportunity, and clean power. The party will also provide additional information pertaining to their strategy for reclaiming Scotland, where there is an opportunity for Labour to regain some ground due to the recent upheaval within the SNP leadership. In the past few weeks, the Scottish National Party, SNP, has been directing its criticism towards the Labour Party. According to recent surveys, this action was taken as the polls indicate that Labour is slowly bridging the divide between its party and the SNP's power. The Scottish National Party's SNP intent to apply pressure on Labour is becoming increasingly apparent. The party has announced that it will seek a close relationship with the European Union if a hung parliament occurs during the upcoming election. According to Michael Thrasher, the election analyst for Sky, Labour is projected to become the biggest party in the upcoming 2024 election. However, he has also stated that the party is unlikely to secure a majority, which could necessitate the formation of a coalition government. Although Sir Keir has consistently rejected the notion of forming a coalition with the Scottish National Party, SNP, the latter remains convinced that it could potentially wield significant influence in the upcoming election as the kingmaker that determines the outcome. Alan Smith MP, who speaks for the SNP on EU accession matters, remarked, "It is only through independence that Scotland can rejoin the European Union." However, in the upcoming election, the SNP may hold a crucial position of power. If this were the case, the party would use its sway to reverse Brexit to the greatest degree feasible and urge the UK to maintain a close association with the EU. It appears that the UK may be headed towards a hung parliament, and in this scenario, the SNP could potentially exert significant influence. They could compel a minority Labour government to rejoin the EU's single market, revive the policy of free movement, and relinquish authority for an independence referendum to Edinburgh. Such actions would allow Scotland to reclaim its position in Europe. To defeat the Conservative Party at the next election in Scotland, the sole option is to vote for the SNP. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.